So are you a gym enthusiast and you just don't know which exercises you should be doing or maybe which ones you should be avoiding? Or maybe you go to the gym a lot and you've been getting injured a lot and you wonder if it's because of your form or some exercise, a new exercise you've been doing. Maybe you don't go to the gym because you're just scared of getting injured. So if any of these things that I've just said resonates with you, then this episode is for you. Hi, everybody. I'm Bruno de Jong. I'm the owner and founder of CBR Clinics. We provide communities of London with physiotherapy and wellness services. We've been doing it for over 10 years. And this is the Wellness Shift podcast, where we interview some of our staff, we interview some clients, we also interview some providers, or sometimes you get just me, which is what's happening today. And sometimes I talk about topics that I think might interest you, such as today. This episode is sponsored by Mousetrapper, one of the lead ergonomic mouse companies in Europe. Most of us spend hours at a computer, often in static positions our bodies aren't built for. That's why so many people feel pain in the neck, shoulders, and arms, often caused by one simple thing, reaching out to the side for a traditional mouse. Mousetrapper solves this by placing the mouse centrally in front of the keyboard. This keeps your arms close, your shoulders aligned, and your posture neutral, reducing the muscle strain that leads to repetitive injuries. Instead of moving a mouse across the desk, you control everything with the mesh-like control pad or smooth carbon fiber roller bar. Both allow precise, low-effort movement using small, relaxed motions, which is exactly what good ergonomics encourages. They design and manufacture Mousetrapper in Sweden with a focus on long product life and sustainability. Durable products mean less waste and fewer replacements over time. If you never tried a center mouse before, the difference is immediate. That's why they offer a free 14-day trial so you can feel the improvement for yourself. Fight the pain, support healthy posture, experience Mousetrapper. So let's dive straight into the topic of today, which is what are the exercises that you might be doing at the gym that you should just be avoiding perhaps. And I have 3 exercises. I would just say, unless you're very strong, unless you know exactly how to do this, just don't do it because you're going to get injured. Exercises that people are doing and then they get injured, they come into clinic and they're telling us, oh, I was doing this exercise, or I was doing that exercise, and now it hurts. I think that's the one. And then we modify that, or we just start avoiding that. We come up with a treatment plan, and then people recover. And if they either address their technique or they don't go back to that exercise, because there's so many other better exercises to do, let's be honest, then it doesn't come back. So let's jump straight into it. The first exercise that you shouldn't be doing at the gym, or you should just be avoiding it unless there is a different machine, is the leg press. The leg press is an exercise that will, if you have a lot of range on the leg press, it will start tilting your pelvis. It will start rounding your lower back. So people will come to clinic with lower back pain or worse. Obviously the leg press is trying to mimic the squat, and there's a lot of misconceptions with squats and any sort of in all of these exercises that work out legs. People think, oh, it's great for glutes. But squats, leg press, lunges, they're very compound exercises. You are working the whole leg. You're doing a little bit of calf, you're doing your hamstrings, you're doing your quads, you're doing your glutes, you're doing hip flexors. It's a bit of everything happening in there. So to say that doing leg press or squats, you're doing it because of your glutes, there's better stuff to do out there. The leg press classically is a terrible machine because you can just have this extra range. It will round your back. It will most likely will trigger that lower back pain. So I would say stay away from it. There is a different machine that is a leg press still, but it looks more like a squat position. And it's a lot better biomechanically. It's a lot more integrative of all the muscles. And if it's like this, if it is this other machine that I'm putting in the screen now, fine, do it. Because this will mimic the squat a lot more. This will mimic a standing position a lot more. And any exercise that's done standing is a lot better for you from a biomechanical perspective because it will engage more muscles than if you were doing exercises lying down. Second exercise that I would definitely not recommend most people doing at the gym are dips. So dips, again, unless you're very strong on your shoulders and on your shoulder blades and all the posterior chain on your upper back, I wouldn't recommend doing. Most people, so when you're doing this, there's a lot going on there. There's a lot of shoulder strength. You have to have shoulder stability. You are working your triceps. Depending on the angle, some people might say you're working your chest or you're working your triceps or whatever. However, the biggest problem with this is that most of the time, when people get injured is because they're not strong enough on the shoulders. So what starts happening is when they go down, the shoulders creep up, and then when they're pushing, the shoulders go all the way down. And then they creep up, and then they go all the way down. So the shoulder blades, they should be stabilized in the movement. They should be kept down at all times while you're trying to work out your triceps or your chest or whatever you're trying to do with that. They gotta be really strong. And if they're not strong and you start doing this, you're gonna overload all the muscles on your neck. This could lead to neck pain. And then because you're doing this, it could lead to shoulder compression. So we see a lot, and sometimes an association of both. People get a neck compression and then just neck pain. And that can lead to arm weakness, shoulder weakness, which then start destabilizing the shoulder joint. It's just a kind of word. Why are you going to do it? If you want to do it and you want to, you have a goal, I really want to do this because I'm going to tone my arms a little bit more, is the next level for me because I've been doing triceps for ages and I'm just plateaued. If you need to build up, go on the assisted dip machine. And I'm putting a picture here on the screen as well. So you can see, you got to put the assisted thing on your knees. I forgot the name of that. And you got to put the weights accordingly so that you feel like there's something is pushing you up as you do the dips. Or sometimes what people have in the gyms is they have these really thick bands, really, really long, and they wrap the bands around their knees and they can do the dips like that as well. If you want to build up, by all means build up, but don't start with your full body weight on this, especially if you know if you're not strong enough, if you already have some shoulder pain, just don't do it. Why are you going to do it? So go into the machine, do the assisted version of it, and then slowly build up the weight until you feel you can bear your own weight and you're not doing this at all. If you're shrugging your shoulders during any arm exercise, it will lead to injury. Fact, because that's the problem that we see with people that come into clinic who are gym enthusiasts and they do lots of arms, is because whenever they're doing stuff, shoulders are coming up and down, up and down. Keep those shoulders down and then do whatever exercise you're doing. Don't let them come up. Even when you're doing the lat pull down, what most time it happens is on the up phase, when you're letting go of the weight, the shoulders come up, and then when they pull, the shoulders go down. And then the shoulders come up, and then the shoulders go down. Just don't do that because you're not stabilizing with your shoulder blades. You're not using stabilizers. You're just overloading your upper traps and the levator scapula, all those muscles. So keep your shoulders down when you're doing a lat pull down. When you're doing shoulder press, same thing, shoulders down. So dips, because it's body weight involved, is very hard to control unless you're using the assisted version. So do that. Now, the third exercise is very controversial. People will just do it. Again, there's lots of different exercises that are probably better than this in terms of strength gain, in terms of being safe, technique. And then the technique is like, I did a little bit of research on this. Some people are saying you do it this way. Other people are saying you do it that way. However, there's different names for this exercise because so many different variations. So for that variation, you have to have this posture. For that variation, you have to have that posture. It's a can of worms. Stay away from it. Stay away from it because most of the people that come into clinic that are gym warriors and they're getting injured because of something at the gym, this is probably at the top of the list. Unless you are doing this with someone who is watching you, and even if someone's watching you, this is risky. I was at the gym this morning and I was watching a personal trainer who looked like he knew he was doing with this fella, and I don't care what variation they were doing. That was not right. So I should have given him our card. But it's concerning this. So unless you are semi-pro, unless you have a very specialized trainer who really knows what they're doing, or unless you've been going to the gym for decades now and you really know your stuff, great, go and do it. Go and do it. CrossFit people, they do this every day. Or most people don't get injured with this. So, but I think a lot of CrossFit gyms, they can be really good as well, where they will give you the technique. They've got lots of trainers, very experienced there. But I have also seen CrossFit people get injured because of this exercise. So just be wary about this exercise. And as you can see from these photos, this guy here is saying that this is wrong and this is correct. And then I found another one who says that this is right, but this is wrong. But that's the opposite what they're saying. And they both look very strong. So like, who's right, who's wrong? And I watched the videos from these guys. They're doing different techniques. It's so difficult. It's so difficult. So why would you even put yourself through that? What are deadlifts working? Deadlifts are working your hamstrings mostly. You are engaging some of your quads there because this is the close chain exercise. You are engaging your shoulders. You are engaging your lower back. You are engaging your glutes. It's mostly posterior chain. So there are lots of muscles that you are targeting with deadlifts. Are there better exercises out there? Yes, there are. You know what's a better exercise than doing deadlifts with a bar like this? Doing a one-legged deadlift with kettlebell on your hands. So you're focusing on one side and then you're doing the other side. But again, you gotta have the technique to do some of these things. You gotta have the know-how, have the experience, have someone watching you, showing you how to do properly. It was a very short episode. I hope this was helpful somewhat. And if you want any more tips on how to exercise, what to exercise, and when to exercise, we offer free 15 minutes consultations. You can always book in with one of our therapists. The links are in the description. Just book in 15 minutes, have a quick chat with someone, see how we can help you. And we have lots of different programs. We do strength foundation and Pilates, with the physio. There's lots of different stuff that we can help you with. And also drop us a like and subscribe if you haven't done yet. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all soon.